kobolds, and I think after episode 2, he messaged me and said he was interested, so he is on now. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be on the old FirerySide chat.
Yeah, you said you watched a couple episodes, and now you're here. Now you're on.
Wow, yeah, it's come full circle here. What a journey.
Yeah, what an honor to be on this such established 82L podcast.
Seriously though, I like 82L content. I like when I love watching casts of games and people doing the power rankings. I think all of it really builds the community. So, I like to contribute to that when I can.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, the idea of this is kind of get somebody on that's, been part of the community, that, chats or plays, and, get to hear them, because a lot of a lot of you guys don't do content or anything. So just so people just think your name a username.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a cool thing. So let's get into it.
Well, well, I guess we'll cut right to the how you guys won 2-0 on Friday, right?
Oh yeah, we played Extra Knives. I think they were sitting at the top of the contender league at the time. They were undefeated. We were 3-1, and it didn't end how we wanted because we were about 25 minutes into the second game, and one of their players disconnected and couldn't get back in, so they had to call it. You never want to win that way, but we're still happy to get the 2-0. I think we were up like 20K net worth both games by 25 minutes, so I would hope to get to rematch them where they can actually play full series.
Yeah, no, that's a shame. That a player couldn't finish the game. But if you're up by 25K, I'd say in this kind of Dota climate and with the patch, I'd say it's pretty hard to come back from that 20K deficit.
Yeah, it's not impossible though. I played a game earlier and we were down 40K and ended up winning in 72 minutes. So I like to see it run its course and not have people have to abandon.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little different when it's organized Dota. I know that can I if you have a random 5 stack and a contender team, that I think the contender team will win most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 5 stack that could be in contender. I'd say the same thing for intermediate and everything.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'd like to safely say that you guys would win.
Yeah, I think so. I was still, I want to get a rematch in the playoffs just to say we have like a fair series, just so there's no questions asked. I like to have to be the undisputed victors.
Yeah, no, fair enough. There's 15 or 16 teams. There's this team Red Rise and Dota. Red Rise and Dota also joined your guys' contender kind of late.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it looks like they have a lot of players on their roster from season 21.
Huh. I'm looking at it right now.
I have never heard of him. I don't know if Seth's letting him in or what, because it would be past 3 weeks, but maybe he's feeling we let him in. We're at an even number, instead of a team having to sit out, they get to face this team.
Yeah. Personally, I love 82L.
Yeah.
It's one of my absolute favorite leagues. I'm not a huge fan of teams joining late though, because I can't remember what season it was, but I started playing this in season 14. I took
Yeah.
a few seasons off when I had a kid, but there was one season where a team joins late and had like no wins, and then they forfeited a week, so they went into the playoffs with like 2 wins, and they ended up sweeping the entire playoffs because they joined super late and then forfeited one. So I think that's it kind of messes up the bracket because especially with the Swiss, which I'm a huge fan of, uh, if you have Swiss and have someone join late, you don't really get a full evaluation of their skill level, and it can just like make the whole bracketing at the end a little unbalanced.
Well, you know what? You have to beat the best at the end of the day. So if you face a tougher team, and sometimes that happens where a tough team gets kind of screwed over sometimes by Swiss or, the
Hmm.
brackets. But I will add that generally, I think the new rule is 2 weeks. So if is this some sort of exception? I don't know. I really don't know on that part. If or they signed up and Seth didn't have it disabled, and so they snuck in.
Yeah.
So after 3 weeks, I really do think after like 3 weeks of games I've played, I don't think you should be allowed in. But
Hmm.
a lot of teams do sign up late, and I think we should welcome them. After 1 week or they miss the first week, there's a huge climb of a handful of teams. You know, I think that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 1 to 2 weeks, 2 weeks max in my mind.
So in my I've only done one content piece for contender and one for intermediate, and it was an overview. And I said wanted steep stat. Well, we'll get into that, but WSS Kobolds, I
Yes.
said would be the number one team in 82L. Is that any pressure? You said you watch content. You see Fireman saying this is the best team by far. What do you think? Do you think I'm raw? Do you think I put pressure on you guys? Are you like some expectations, so it pushes you guys to anything from that?
Well, yeah, no, it's interesting because I think there absolutely is expectation. I don't know if it's pressure yet. Maybe once we hit the tournaments, we'll have some pressure. But we lost a game to Pot of Greed, and I think they're a really, really good team. We were super disappointed, splitting 1-1 because we do have those expectations where we want to be the best. We think we're number one. I think, and that comes from like most, if not all, of our players have played in intermediate and even divine in past seasons. Um, so our MMRs are low. We're all legend players, and I never won a divine league or anything, but we've competed at that level. So playing in contender, we feel like we should be ahead of the pack. Um, at least in terms of like organizational team Dota, like you were saying, there's such a big difference between pub MMR and playing in a league like this.
Is Dill
So
legend now? Did you finally get him to
yes,
legend?
yes, he did get legend, and then revamp, who's our four, he just hit ancient one, so
Yeah, yeah, that's
which is
cool.
allowed now because we're past the limit. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely an expectation we put upon ourselves to be the best. We don't really expect to lose games. Seriously, like our expectation is to win out the rest of the season, and anything less than that we'll be upset by.
Yeah, fair enough. No, I thought Pot of Greed would be kind of like a contender, but not as strong. I'll mention a few things though. And I brought this up. I'm like, there's so few teams, and I think for Swiss you need a lot of teams in a bracket. Like and just quickly, RD2L they have like 40, 50 teams sign up, right?
Hmm.
And then they can play, so you're not facing double teams. I'm like, I don't want to face the same team during the regular season.
Oh
So
yeah, for
like
sure.
example, you and Pot agreed are 5 wins again. You shouldn't face each other again. So I imagine you'll face. It's my first time at Pot agreed. We'll face extra knives, but then it comes to a point. Well, which team do I face? Do I re-face a team because now I face the four people below me? It's kind of. What do you think? Do you think you should rematch someone during the regular season in your 6 weeks, or do you think it should always be someone different?
I think it should always be someone different.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it takes away the anticipation of. And I'm really looking forward to playing Pot of Greed again. I know
Mm-hmm.
some of the guys on that team, and we split the series. We both felt like we're a top tier team, and so we're antsy to get back at each other. And if we play again before then, I feel like it'll take away some of that tension and anticipation. So yeah. Looking at the standings, I'd like to play. It's my first time or backwoods and see Pot of Greed play extra knives or one of those other two. And then as the season goes on, just try and make it so you play a different team every week. I think it's possible.
No, I think
It's
it is
more
too.
work for the admins.
Yeah.
I know that I think they built their Swiss system by themselves, if I'm not wrong. I think they programmed their own like schedule generator. I don't think they use like was it Challenge or some of those other automatic schedule makers that
Yeah.
other leagues have done. So I think the 82L guys have made their own, and I hope they made something in there where it won't generate two games against the same team.
Yeah, I hope so too. There's a couple of how 82L has a couple red admins, the super admins. The other guys
Yeah.
are mostly on the website. Seth is everything else. He kind of hands off, I think, on the website. Probably hits that special button for next week games on Sunday. He's like 11:59 p.m. on Sunday. I told you. He's great, but yeah, I hope so too, because that's something I brought up as a concern. I'm not playing this season. I didn't play even a full season last season. I just want good season. I'm like, if I'm playing, I don't want to face the same team again in regular season. You know,
hmm
so these team. I think intermediate has enough teams that won't be a concern that much, but obviously for contender, I don't think there is quite enough teams where the top team will always have the second best or third best will be a team they could face. But I don't like that's the extreme, and I think you know what that you just keep going down the list, and
hmm
I hope that's what they do. And if anything, if I'm a, I always like facing good teams because good teams make you better. So I think all those teams will revel in the fact that they get to face Pog or Kobolds. What if both teams end up with 11 wins, other side of the bracket? That'd be fun. And then we have teams at 0, and you know what? There's going to be they'll have to slowly face maybe a team that's 3 wins if they constantly stay at 0. So you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah.
in the middle it'll be
Yeah.
fine. On the extremes, it'll be a little challenging, but I think it is. It'll be good. But 15 or 16 teams, you guys have a. Are you guys play? Oh yeah. Oh, the schedule isn't even out yet. I was gonna
No, it should be
say,
on a few hours.
do you probably want to play next week? You don't want to be one of those bye teams.
No way. No, I absolutely want to play.
Yeah.
Well, if this other team's in, there shouldn't be a bye.
Well, yeah,
If
that's the
Frederick and
thing.
Dota.
Well, right now, if you count how many people, they have 8 people on their roster,
Oh,
so
that's
they'd
not
have to bring
allowed.
it down to 5. Yeah, exactly. They'd have to bring it down to 5, and who knows what there's 2 guys with the tag RRD. So everybody else who even knows, they played in season 21 and they lost in the playoffs 2-0, and then season 22 their name was mentioned and they didn't even play. So that's it's like what are you guys? Like I have no idea.
Huh.
So I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, I hate having a bye. I don't like when teams have to do that. So I hope they're able to play.
There you go. See, a team coming in and stopping the buy. Maybe that was Seth's goal. One team can join. One team can join late. I guess we'll go to your history, man. Would want so WSS Kobolds wanted steep sets. I, you know what? You have a history on want
Yeah.
steep sets, and season 14 when it
Yeah,
was
we
still
go way
MMR,
back.
not metal based.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, look at these names. Team Ember even was playing back then.
Oh
Uh
yeah.
what I don't know, man. Season 4. How did you even find 82L?
Well,
Yeah.
it was quite a journey. I was playing with, my team is made up of, well, I guess way back once Deep Sets was made up of all people I knew in real life.
Mm,
We all went to high school together. We started playing Dota together, and we'd never play ranked. We were like always unranked, and we were playing together for a year or two, and we're loving the game, loving the competitive nature of everything. And we found this tournament. It's called the Semi Pro Cup Series, and at this point, I think we were all Archon players, and we just joined this semi-pro cup series, not even like understanding what the international is or Dota tournaments or anything. We're just like, oh, we'll join a tournament, just some other guys playing together. And we end up in the very first round. There was no badge cap, so we entered like in what would be an Immortal League now. These are like
Oh
7K,
no.
8K players.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they mopped the floor with us in like 19 minutes. And it ended up being the team was called Black Sheep, and they placed fifth in the NA qualifiers last year. So yeah, these are like 8K players just crushing a bunch of Archons in this thing. So that was not a good start. We're like, oh, maybe we don't ever want to try this again. But then we did actually find 82L eventually and saw like, oh, there's leagues that have MMR limits. And we thought that was cool. Like maybe we'll actually have a shot. So we started playing in season 14. I don't think we did too well. I think we got knocked out in the first round.
Yeah, I'm looking. You guys won though 4 games and out of
Okay.
10. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then after 82L, there was another league called Echo League.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And okay, so we played in that one, and we actually got second place. We lost the best of 5 grand finals, and still probably the most painful Dota memory of my life. We're so new at playing in amateur tournaments, and we had just had this like miracle run through the playoffs. We're in the grand finals, and we end up losing the best of 5 to a base race by a matter of like 2 seconds, hitting each other's ancients. 90-minute game, and it's over, and we lost. So we got second place. We were still proud of making it that far, but oh my gosh, I will never ever forget that night. I was like sick to my stomach the rest of the week. Like if I did one little thing different, if I could delay the creeps for 2 seconds, we would have won.
You know what? Stuff happens like that, man.
I know.
Think of how LGD feels that they lost to OG in Game 4 in 2018 and that TI 8. That
Yeah.
shouldn't have never happened, but it happened and they're playing for bigger stakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. We did end up getting a couple championships after that, though. So after that Echo League season, one of our players moved to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to organize a team when one of your players is on the other side of the world. So, what TI was that? 2017, I think, is when we did this. We went to the pub stomp. I don't know if you've been to those, like where a bunch of guys just get together and watch the international. I know Valve used to host it on their websites, but
No, I haven't. I've never been to a pub stomp. I've been to
okay,
a TI, but I've never been to a pub stomp.
okay. So yeah, we went to this pub stomp for the first time, and we met a bunch of Dota players there, and we got their Steam accounts and started playing with some of them, and ended up adding one of the guys to our team, Rice Bowl Techies, or Rice Bowl Alex, he goes by, and he's playing on our Divine League team, WSS Hellbears. So we added him onto our team, and then we started doing really, really good in 82L. We won in seasons 16 and 17. So we went back to back intermediate league. Kept playing through like season 21. Got a couple more second place or semifinals finishes. And then, like I said, there at that point, we were running into some of that one season where that team joined late. That kind of, we still lost fair and square, but we got matched up against that team that joined super late and then swept the playoffs. So that wasn't fun. And then there were some smurfing concerns. We ended up playing against a guy that was like ranked 80th in the world on the worldwide MMR list. So he
Really?
ended up smurfing, yeah, and it messed up the whole season. And it took so we moved at the end of the day. We left 82L for a while after season 21,
Yeah.
and the whole squad moved over to PAC. That league, and so we played 2 seasons there. And I think we got semifinals matches there, maybe.
Okay.
And now we're back. Then I had a kid. I got married, had a kid. Took like probably 8 months off competitive Dota, and then came back for this season with these two sister teams where we had enough MMR disparity between our players of the original founders of WSS where we have our own Discord server. You know, we have like 60 players. We've been around for 4 years, so we've made quite a little community with the WSS brand, and
Hmm.
we had enough to field 2 teams. I'd like to get 3 teams next season too. So, hey, my goal is to play in all 5 leagues. Yeah, I'd love to have a brand and a community big enough where we're fielding a WSS, some sort of neutral creep in all 5 leagues. That's what I like
Yeah.
to see. So we'll see how far we can take it. Well, I want to find like some small time company to sponsor us for free or something. I know some of our players used to play on Spicy Thieves. That's kind of a throwback team, and they got like a hot sauce company to sponsor them, which I thought was pretty cool. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
no, it's tough. I don't know about the sponsor thing for your team. Good luck on that. But WSS, it's cool. Digital Habitat had Digital Habitat and Digital Habitat Sprout. Last season is
Yeah,
kind of cool, right? So it'd be cool. Yeah, you got Hell Bears and Divine, and it looks like they're doing kind of okay. I look at Divine, don't really fully pay attention to them. No offense,
yeah,
Divine.
they're tied for first. There's like
No,
5
no.
teams at first place, so Hellbears is doing good.
Yeah, it's a very even league right now, which is awesome.
Yeah,
Like no team is like, "Oh yeah, we're way better than you," which I think is good. When you have a fair league like that, heroic, and because the Divine League's available, heroic kind of lost some teams, but they're a 6 team
hmm
league. They got unsung heroes and unsung champions, and quarantine gamers. They got some. There's heroic teams are pretty good. So a couple of them are really good. But that's crazy. A rank 80 was smurfing in intermediate league, dude. Do you not have something better to do with your life? You're rank 80. Like really? Like I don't know, man. I like this is the issue with these
Yeah,
amateur
it was
leagues.
bizarre. He first picked. I remember it so clearly because he first picked Meepo on us, and it was just like, what in the world?
Yeah, that's actually insane. I'm all I could
Oh,
think. That's
yeah, yeah.
crazy.
I found him out because he had his Twitch linked to his Smurf account that he was playing an 82L on.
Mm.
And so his like after the game we're like, where did this guy come from? um I found his Twitch and he like on his Twitch profile he said like, here's my Dota Smurf. So it was pretty obvious, and I think he got kicked out of the league pretty fast after that. But that was in 2017, and props to 82L because they have cracked down on Smurfs so much more than they used to. Like season 14, like there was just they didn't have this team of admins that they have now. It was kind of just Seth for the most part, and it was so hard to investigate all those type of things, and it was kind of like a lot of it just leaked through. So I
Yeah,
coming back at this season, we are much happier with how the league is running. We're having a lot of fun.
yeah, he's definitely. They keep adding rules to make the league better. Seth. He's been around since season one, and he puts a lot of work in it. He doesn't really get any returns, right? He's
Hmm
straight up. He what word? He gets nothing out of this besides giving people space to play, and sometimes he plays in the league. And he puts a lot of time and effort into the league to make sure it is good. Actually, this season too, so a Smurf had their account linked to their Twitch again, and their team got kicked out or hit the player on a team, and he made an announcement, but not on announcements or whatever, because he deemed it wasn't necessary or didn't even put him on wall of shame. He's like, season didn't start, so they don't get on there, and I'm
hmm
like, oh, dude. Like, like they caught him. And yeah, it's kind of insane how many people try to smurf. And this is why the prizes are really low for the leagues,
Hmm.
right? Is what is a contender league is $25?
Yeah.
I'm trying to hit the home button. Archon's 15, Contenders 25, Intermediate's 35, Divine is 45, and 75 for Heroic. It's like, it's so low. Like, why are you coming into. I understand if you want to play with your friends, but, maybe play in a higher league, you know? So it's challenging, and it's an ever struggle because people can just make new accounts and everything and smurf into them. And that's why I think, segue. We had some drama earlier in the season with Royce Boys squad trying to play in contender, and they're in Rice Babies, and now they're in intermediate. Any comments there?
I don't think I saw that drama, so I can't speak on the whole situation. I don't know if I've played it. I'm looking at their team now. I don't know if I've even recognized any of these players.
Well, they're new. I guess there's some RD2L players playing in
Okay.
AD2L. They have a guy on there. That his name's JD, and he doesn't really play a lot of Dota, and his win rate's insanely high. And TLDR, a lot of contender, even some people in intermediate, other people that don't play even in contender, said, "Hey, this guy should not be here at all because look at his count." And then RD2L people fled the Discord and said, "Nah, why are you trying to hate on RDTL?" And no, but everybody's like, "We're not hating on RD2L. Look at his account. He doesn't play ranked. He doesn't play Dota, and you can look at his win rate. It's like 65%." And then he has Smurf accounts that are insanely high. It's like this guy's not a legend player. He should be playing in a higher league. And there was an announcement. It's in announcements. Where Mad Max said a lot of drama, blah blah blah. Strawman's argument. JD technically clears all round rules. However, there's a legitimate concern about his rank not being an accurate reflection of his skill due to a very low activity in ranked games and his activity in tournament games. So he plays a lot in RD2L. He plays in RD2L. He does quite well in those games, and so so now he's in intermediate, and that's all.
Okay.
A lot of people. That was kind of the fight. Was a lot of people said, listen, he can still play in 82. He shouldn't play in contender. So their team of legends boosted up. Do you think that was the right ruling? Do you think they should have been playing? Like, we don't think JD is trying to smurf the league. We think he just doesn't play Dota to the point, and he plays on Smurfs. That's the worst thing. He has recent games on a Smurf account, and it's like, hey man, you trying to hide the fact? Because on that account, he's 65% win rate. He's Legend 2 or Legend 3 already. And like it looks like kind of a newer account where we think he plays on that account with other Smurfs, heroic Smurfs, and he plays on that account. And it's like, hey, why wouldn't you just play on your regular account? So, we think he kind of tried to dupe 82L a little bit. Now he's an intermediate. He's won 1 out of 4 games. Do you think he should have been in contender? Do you have any?
Okay. So I'm looking at his Dota buff right now, his 82L count, JD.
Mm-hmm.
And it, I mean, like 90% of his games are tournament games. And on his first page, it goes back like 6 months.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
listen, I don't really have any patience for Smurfs. I think it's really easy not to Smurf. It's like, it's not like I made a mistake, I Smurfed. It's like I've really intentionally made this account.
Mm-hmm.
And but go ahead, listen. You can do that in pubs. I don't like it, but it happens. But don't enter a league where it's like I clearly have to violate some rules to do this. So
Well, I,
listen,
I think
I
he's a nice
see
guy.
he's in.
Yeah.
I I see he's in, and that's the admin's choice. I don't have any patience for that type of stuff. If there's a Smurf, I say you're out.
But the thing is, we don't actually. The thing is, isn't a second account for him. This is his main account, and it just seems he doesn't really play pubs on it or anything. And it's kind of a tricky situation because
Yeah.
he's not trying to hide the fact that he doesn't play Dota. He was very open about it. The issue is technically he does meet every single 82L rule. The issue is that, and Suns fan talked about it on one of his podcasts. He said, what, we make a rule that says if something's fishy that we didn't think of, we'll add that rule. And like example, there was a team in one of the European leagues that used 15 stand-ins to play their games, and they came second place or third place. But if they won it all and got to move to Division 1, that would have been all hell because it was Division 2, and they played with 15 stand-ins. And Suns fans said I would have made a rule
Yeah.
they can't do this. Like 15 different people played in their games. Like on top of their main 2 or 3 people, 15 stand-ins. He's like, listen, you can't have that. I'd add a rule. I wouldn't realize someone would do that, but I would make a rule. I'd tell them they can't. They have to stop and use the same stand-in. That's unfair. That they're bringing in some tier 1 talent to play with them sometimes. So I think 82L made the right decision by bumping them up a league, and you know what? They've won a game, lost 3. I'd say that's good.
Hmm.
But I don't think JD was trying to dupe 82L, and he did offer his Smurf accounts, his alt accounts. I don't think he
Okay.
duped. I don't think he duped 82L.
Sure. Yeah, that's a really interesting case then. Yeah, I haven't seen all the details of it, but eh,
Well,
I guess, maybe they made the right decision then if he's not dominating and they're still
they moved
competing.
him up a league, right? They moved him
Yeah,
up a
yeah.
league, so
That sounds fair then.
if he won contender, let's say he went in contender and they won every single game, or let's say you guys, like I think you guys are the best team, and let's say they beat you guys too, and they won
Hmm.
everything. I think there'd be a lot of people would really dislike it.
Yeah.
If you guys win, there'll be some people kind of grouchy because WSS Kobolds, it is definitely a team that you guys built to win this year. It's not a team. Maybe you guys are friends, but your team is built to win, and that nothing wrong with that. Combining forces and going out to get a season win. It is a problem when you have some questionable
Sure.
accounts, and you're trying to still win. So
Yeah, so
that's the line.
our roster right now, it's definitely built with winning in mind. Um, but 3 of our players have been on WSS in past seasons. So we only added 2, Rhett and Dill.
Yeah.
They're the only ones who've never played on a WSS team in the past. They're great players, so that's the part that's built to win. Picking them up, those are some really solid players. So, but me, Gambit, and Revamp, we've been playing together for years.
No,
We
I'm
mentioned
not
Team
saying you
Amber
aren't.
earlier.
I'm not saying you aren't, man. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
as an outsider that looks at teams in
sure,
82L, I know what a team built to win is, and that's a team
sure.
built to win. So if you guys don't win, let's say you guys come in second and you have a good BO5 series or something, that might be acceptable. But outside of the top 2, if you know what, eh, terrible
Yeah,
season.
that's very true. No, that
You
that
know,
is absolutely true.
I could tell you, I had a season. My team got knocked out in the second week of the playoffs. I was with this is team potential, the second team. That team was built to win, and we did really well in the regular season. Only lost 1 game. So and we lost 2-0 because our team all hated each other. But that team was built to
Yikes.
win. Yes, I don't know, man. Stuff happened, and everybody got at each other's throat, even though we were doing well. And you know what? That but that team was built to win. So that was a disappointing season for me. That we got
Yeah,
knocked out. That we didn't make top 2. That was disappointing because that team was built to win, and now it wasn't a bunch of 82 regulars, but it was built to win. And then season, my third season with it, I didn't build to win that season, but basically won it with team
Yeah.
potential, but it wasn't built to win. But I can tell you, I built a team to win, and not winning hurt. I'm
Well,
just
I don't
saying
want to
no.
experience that. I'm not trying to feel that. I
No.
believe it though.
Mhm.
There some teams are built just to have fun, and
Yes.
I've absolutely done that. It's like some WSS teams in the past have been, hey, we kind of know we're a little outclassed here. Let's
Mhm.
make a run and see how far we can get. But at the end of the day, we just want to have fun playing together. This
I'm not
season
saying you can't have
is,
fun and build a team to win either. I'm just,
oh,
there's some
yeah,
teams, there's a clear skill gap between some teams in 82L and each league.
yeah, and you just have this like goal in your mind, like, hey, tonight are we playing to have fun, or are we, are we gonna do what we got to do to win? It's We're definitely a team built around the concept of winning this one,
Like,
but we'll see. Potter,
I
I'm, hats off to Potter Greed. They really, really shocked us the other night.
yeah, I think there's some teams that are gonna give you a challenge, up
Yeah.
there, and there's some teams that won't. Honestly, I'm shocked by Red Five standing by. I don't know what's going on because they won a couple seasons ago, and like it
Yeah,
wasn't a weak contender week. Like that season wasn't weak in contender, and they won it. So it's kind of interesting. I don't, they did have to. They picked up Arno because a player's had a baby, so that changes stuff.
hmm
But still, it's like But no, 82L man, it's competitive. I don't want to. I didn't want to put too much pressure. All I'm saying is some teams are built to win. That's all. That's all my point to get across on was that one steep sets. What it'd be kind of cool. There's 5 leagues. This is the first season all 5 leagues have officially happened. You know, do you
yeah.
think it's good that there's an Archon league, like a league for players that aren't legend? Do you think the Archon league was like a huge thing that needed to be done? Because I always thought it had to be done.
Yeah, I definitely think that's a good thing to have. There's still a clear difference between, a stack of legend players and, you know, Archon's good though because it can go all the way. I feel like gosh, I can't remember the rank order. What's the second one? Herald.
It goes Herald, Guardian, Crusader, Archon.
Okay. See, I feel like Crusaders and Archons can definitely work together. Probably even the second tier too. So yeah, I like having the Archon League. That was a solid addition. I know Lemon Snowcones has been around for a while too, and like a little lower on the MMR, but still a really, really good team. So I'm glad they have a. Did they win old contender leagues? I feel like they did.
I think Lemon Snowcones has won a season or two.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Uh, let's. They haven't won in a long time.
Okay.
I'm scrolling. I'm looking. They one season it's kind of tough because they don't really play that much Dota. Kind of know what you get with kind of Lemon Snow Cones.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning zero disrespect to them. They play, and that's important. They show up and they play. They're older guys, and I don't think they're here for fun. But a
Mm-hmm.
contender definitely. You can even argue like contender now is more than 3,000 MMR. Before contender was 3,200 and like lower, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they and they don't play enough to get exactly better. So
Mm-hmm.
they won in season 13,
Oh wow, that's before even us.
and I'm trying to
Jeez.
see. Oh, and they won in season 15,
Okay, that's the one season I didn't play in too back then.
and oh, they won season 16. So they won a
Okay.
handful. They've won 3 seasons, and I don't see any other wins. I feel like they were close. Like one season, they made it pretty far and lost in the grand finals. Like I think season 20 or 21 they were kind of a scarier team, and
Mm-hmm.
but time comes as they don't play, people are getting better, and you know falls out. But I have nothing against them. and I'm happy there's an Archon League for these guys that just want to play. And that's the other thing.
Mhm.
If someone doesn't play a lot of ranked games or something like these Archon League guys and some guys in even contender, and if they have a history, I think it's okay if they don't like play a lot of ranked games because we know where they're at. You know what I mean? They're not trying to hide the system. Like Lemon Snow Cones is five guys that have been playing, and this is their thing. They get together on Thursday and they just play, and that's it.
Mhm.
I like a rule. Mad Max's statement says there's going to be a minimum amount of ranked games. These Lemon Snow Cone guys don't want to do that at all.
Hmm.
But they have history. I feel like you can put a stipulation that we ask this person to do that if they're not playing enough games. Lemon Snow Cones is clearly an Archon team, so
Mhm.
you put me on an Archon team, I'm pretty sure that team is gonna be a top team instantly, and I'm carrying them or something. Lemon Snow Cones, they are at the top, but they've lost a game. They're
Mhm.
five wins. So
Yeah, I think all the leagues are pretty balanced this season. I don't know much about heroic, but I follow the other. I mostly follow contender through divine. But everyone, it doesn't seem like there's anyone dominating or there's any Smurfs this season. It seems really tight, which I'm super happy about.
yeah, I'm very happy. But the most of the reason is because there is different like intermediates for ancients starting, divines for divines, heroics for anybody, contender, legend 5 and lower. We're starting. So like there's only a spread of so much badges, and then you can still climb. So I feel like a lot of people are still playing ranked, and then next season they'll be higher. Like Thug was on DH Pro last season. He got to Ancient 2 and he's now on an intermediate team.
Hmm.
Thug Potato. So he climbed, and now he's on a different team. Like Revamp and Gambit. I won't be shocked if both of them eventually hit Ancient, and then they're intermediate players again. And nothing wrong
Yep.
with that, right? Like that's good. They can make a WSS dot. I don't know what your intermediate team would be, but as an example, right? And that'd be good. Example, Gambit's team came, second place last season in the intermediate.
Mm-hmm.
And Revamp was a top four team, I think. So obviously they they played, and I understand bouncing back. Like I'm ancient one right now, so if I joined a team,
Yeah.
I'd be intermediate, but
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. It's not like scary to the fact. Oh, now I'm facing a divine 5. Well, no, I'm facing ancient 5 that climbed. So
Mm-hmm.
so all I'm trying to say is like the league has kind of made it so if you're like that Legend 5 going Ancient 1 or Ancient 5 going Divine 1, you're only facing 5 medals higher. You're only facing like a guy that could be 600 MMR more. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that can be a gap, but not everybody on a team. Like if you look at intermediate, there's a lot of teams that aren't stacked above 4,000. Like there's a lot of teams with a bunch of legend players and ancients together.
Yeah, I think the league's in a really good place. Yeah. Gosh, I think it's the most teams they've ever had, like all combined.
It is. It is. It is their most teams ever.
Yeah, well, it seems like one of the most balanced seasons. A lot of players, a lot of community content. I think 82 is maybe its best place ever.
Yeah, season 28.
Yeah.
Starting to be we're getting out of the dark ages of 82L. Not saying there ever was one.
after,
We're in
after 28 seasons.
28th season, possibly the best season, of
I honestly think
82L.
so.
It's hard to have any complaints, you know, this season. The only complaint is maybe Fireman not doing enough content. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's good. I love it, dude. I love clicking some guys' content too, and yeah, I try to watch some people's content in 82L. Chad has been doing content for Archon League once a week, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I did do contender and intermediate for 1 week, and then I just opening. I kind of want to do it again because now we're
Yeah.
halfway through the regular season. I feel like I can do another quick update.
Yeah, you could do that. Like, check in week 1, 4 in playoffs or something. Arno and Dill do the
Yeah.
or Gambit do the power rankings week to week, but it's good to have different takes.
That's exactly it. You know what? The thing is, a lot of people were doing that power rankings content, and I'm like, I don't need to do this. You know, I don't need to. If I, yeah, maybe a lot of people enjoy that. You know, like seeing multiple power rankings. But I'm like, if someone's already done it, you know, I can relax about it.
Hmm.
You know, I don't have to worry about doing it. Long story short is I'm not worrying about doing it right now. I'm doing this, and I think it's pretty good. You know, I check my views. Some people like it.
Hmm.
You know, obviously, you know, I have a list of guests, and generally the only advertising I do is uh, in my video. So the only way people really get on as a guest is if they message me after seeing the video, and that's how the first three guests kind of happened. And you,
Yeah, that's how I
yeah,
heard it.
yeah, exactly. So obviously people listen to it, and I got
Yeah,
some people lined up. It's good. I don't know. It's awesome. I like
it
it.
was the one where you were talking about people who listen while they drive, and
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was doing at the time. I had to drive to work, and I had one of your episodes on, and then at the end, you're like, "Yeah, message me if you want." And I'm like, "Sweet."
yeah, no, that's exactly it. The idea is honestly, I listen. I don't want to go out and beg people to get on. I want people. I want this to be ADTL community being like, hey, yeah, I'll do an episode. Like there's a few people I've see I've someone sent me a picture and I'm on their screen on their uh, TV, not TV, their touch screen on their car.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
know, Fireman is on there. I'm like, that is awesome. You know, I can't complain, man. I love it, dude. That's what I like to do. Except for my drive to work is only 5 minutes. But people are like, I
Okay,
gotta drive to work, and it's like, why not listen to Fireman? Talk to somebody. Maybe a little 82L. I'm trying to. I think this one I've been trying to get to more 82L content. You know,
sweet. Well,
we
we
kind
certainly
of
covered that.
I think so. I think a lot of people are gonna listen to this and be like, "Wow, you know, is there a new team in contender?" You know, I don't even go on the website.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, only the captain does, right? No, dude, it's 82L is great. Season 28, we have a sick ticket that I haven't updated my video on. I don't know if you've gone on my stream. Did you see the cool pictures I gave for you and your team logo?
Oh yes, shoes style selection. I
WASS.
don't even know what that brand is.
I have no idea either,
You're
dude.
ripping us off, though. I'm about to file a lawsuit here.
Dude, that can be your sponsor.
That's true. Actually, it's not a bad idea. I'll
And
say I'll do it for
yeah, yeah. Tell them you
WSS
do.
shoes.
Yeah,
I'm
some
gonna
gaming
save that.
shoes.
The
uh,
running joke in WSS this season has been gaming socks.
oh,
We put our gaming socks on, like those Nike Elite Pros and that you wore in like high school basketball, and we that's our thing right now.
ah,
We put on our gaming socks before we play.
dude, I love socks. I won't lie. I wear colored socks. Sometimes not a lot of colors on them. I don't wear regular black and white socks.
Hmm.
I don't. They
Not
have
even to work.
not even to work, dude. Dude, sometimes I don't even like wear the same color. Like I don't know, foot stream here. We got some red pattern here. We got
Nice.
blue pattern on the other one. You know, we don't have Fireman does not wear all black or all white socks ever. Colored socks. And he buys new ones as they get holes in them.
I
My
mean, I respect that. I got some like Darth Vader and Stormtrooper socks I wear. Those are still black and white though. That's the colors of the characters, but
the
I'll wear those to work.
those are an exception. A design, right? As long
Okay,
as
okay.
there's a design, like you know, a lot of the socks start with the black, and then there's a design on them or white in a design. That's okay. If I'd wear Darth Vader socks, I'd wear Darth Heisenberg socks.
Oh, thank you. What an honor.
Dude, I
I
didn't.
would be proud to be on your feet, Fiery Man.
Uh, that's a little awkward. No, man. You know,
So, anyways,
we're at 50 minutes. We're at 50 minutes. You know, I said I'd want to cut this down. You know, not make it 2 hours. Not trying to end on a weird note, foot fetish note. You know, uh, anything
oh
else you
wow.
wanted to talk about on this podcast? Maybe 5 more minutes, man. And,
Okay.
well, that we didn't
Listening to
touch.
one of the other FirerySide chats, I want to give a shout out to Captain Brian. I don't know that guy at all, but he sounded super cool. I would love that guy. I'd love to play on a team with that guy sometime. He just sounds like a fun guy. So hey, if Captain Brian listens to this, come leave your team and join the WSS brand next season. We'll field an intermediate team or whatever. Yeah, send me a DM, dude.
That is awesome. You know, if Captain Brian is on a WSS team next season, I will laugh. I will laugh, man. No, he is a
All
really
right.
cool dude. I never uh, hated him. You know, even when TBD did that shitty thing. You know, if you listen to that cast, we talked about it briefly. It wasn't him. I know it
Yeah.
wasn't him. So I've never held
Yeah.
any ill will. And he is very chill guy, man. Him and I almost made a team. He's a nice guy. He's laid back and you know, he's just playing Dota. He's one of those guys. He's not building a team to win. He's just wanting to play with his brother, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's super cool. I love that. It's a
Exactly.
nice family man. That's what WSS looks for. Nice family guys.
Family. Yes, you have a kid. You said. So
Uh
yeah, another family man. That's how he has to get to you. You know, you and him. How
huh.
is your kid? Would be what, like 3 now, or almost 3?
Mine is 6 months.
Oh,
Yeah, she's a newbie.
Jesus.
Noob to the world.
A
She's like
new
a herald player, you know.
God is God. Man, that's crazy. 6 months. Can't even walk yet.
Nope.
Wow, wholesome ending. I
See,
think you know.
yeah, I was about to say this is much better than that other stuff you were talking about.
Yes, way better. This is a nice wholesome ending to end the stream on. You know, be like, damn man. Well, congratulations. You know, still on the kid. That's awesome. And I
Yeah,
don't
of
have a
course.
kid. I'm not ready for any responsibility. So you know, I don't
It's a
know if
big
that's
change, but at the end of the day, it's been worth it every single day. So it is a big change though. Like I said, I couldn't play competitive Dota for like 8 months, like through
yeah.
the whole pregnancy and the first 8 months. It's a lot. So
Yeah, and that's why we have like Red 5 standing by, a guy standing back because of a kid too.
mm-hmm.
You know.
No, I get it. I get it.
Wow. Well, thank you, Darth, for coming on. This was fantastic. You were a fantastic guest. You know, episode 4, fourth episode. I don't think you really want to watch this episode in the car because you lived it.
There you go.
So yeah,
You'll have to do another one for me to listen to. Someone else.
episode 5 might
There
be
you go.
next week. You know, we have episode 5 and 6 lined up.
Sweet.
I know. I'm excited, dude. I'm really excited. You know, and one of those I don't even know the people, and I won't give away a lot here, but they're a team new to 82L, and it might be the first Fiery Side episode with 2 people and me. So there'll be 2 guests because they said, "Hey, can we have the whole entire team on?" I'm like, "That is too many people. You know, this is for 2 guys." Or and when I say guys, I mean women can be on too. But I'm like, I could probably do 2 of you guys and me. So that'll be exciting.
Sweet, man. I hope it keeps on growing.
If people keep asking to be guest, we're golden. Yeah, as soon as people stop, Fiery Side, season 1 is over.
Wow. Well,
Yeah,
Nate,
so
82L season 28, best season of 82L ever. We're gonna boost up Fireside chats for the community. So
thank you. Well, you have a great evening. I hope you play some Dota. I wish you luck on your gauntlet. You're doing that right.
I think so. Yeah, I'm gonna try and sneak in there maybe.
So I wish you luck on your gauntlet. I'm gonna just shout out to my sponsors. I have none, but I'm gonna end this on with a couple announcements for people, and I thank you.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, man.
Yeah, have a great night. Okay, guys. Well, kick Darth out of the chat. Actually, I left the chat. Thank you all for watching. This is episode 4 of Fireside Chat. Darth was a great guest. I like that this isn't a 2-hour episode, that we're ending it before an hour. I have a couple guests lined up. Probably in the next 3 weeks, there'll be 2 more. I'm enjoying kind of doing these weekly. If I miss a week, stuff happens and I don't uh, keep up with them. Uh, if you want to be on, send me a DM. Right now in 82L chat, I'm Hoshalega, but Fireman. If you search that, you'll find me. I'm around. I'll be posting this content video. Uh, DM me if you're interested on, because honestly, the series only continues if you guys keep asking if to be a guest. And yes, you'll miss out on one episode. You won't really get to watch it because you're in it. But but because of you, everybody else will, and then it'll continue, and then you can watch the future episodes. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I try to make this more 82L focused. Give me some feedback or, some nice criticism. Always welcome. Thank you for watching. Fireside Chat out.